All right, I believe we are now officially live, yes, across Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope Twitter via Periscope. So apologies for being a little bit late tonight. We are 10 minutes behind schedule. We had a few technical gremlins going against us. So had a few things to sort out there. For the first time, I hit the character limit on the episode title that we're streaming from, which was bizarre. So to go and do some things, I don't know. It's all very, very strange. But here we are. We are doing another episode of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
And thank you all so much for tuning in. Tonight we're going to be talking about the latest from Bodom After Midnight, Gilby Clarke, Madhouse, and Nunchukka Superfly. Which was actually a recommendation from one of our regulars. So if you're watching along tonight, give us your thoughts, comments, and if you know anything about the bands or releases we're talking about, then feel free to give us your thoughts, experiences, whatever else as we go along. So we'll have a hot topic and all the usual stuff in a minute. Our details are in the description of this, whether you're watching live now or watching on repeat later on or tuning into the audio later on as well. Whichever way you're tuning in, thank you for joining us. And follow our links in the description to keep up to date with everything we do. We do about 2 or 3 of these live streams a week. We're trying to get to make it 3 regularly. It was just on account of my birthday last week. We went, fuck, we're not doing one last Sunday. So too many other people. Yeah. And then, and if you'd be so kind, our Patreon page is out there too. And in the details for the first time, I've actually put our PayPal link. So if you feel like making just a quick little donation, one-off thing, then by all means, feel free to do that too. And while we're talking about all that sort of stuff, a big thank you to our amazing sponsors, Squidding, Screen Printing, Old Colt, and Rockstar Finance. Their details, just like ours, are in the description. So please find them, give them a follow, all the usual stuff, show them some love, support they give us here. Well, like I said, we got a usual amount of stuff to get through. When we can, we try and squeeze in an EP as a little bonus here and there, which is what we got tonight with the Bodom After Midnight little mini EP. It's only 3 tracks in that one, but we'll get to all of those things in a minute, including the hot topic. But before that, Dave, it's only been I saw you on Sunday anyway, but how are you going?
I've been good. Been a busy, good weekend. Friday night went to a gig, went to a whole lot of love. Saw 3 bands, and the name of the first band completely escapes me at the moment. That I feel like a shit. I'm sorry. they were pretty good opening night. Second band was Right After Midnight. We reviewed their album earlier this year, and fuck, they put on a good show. And it's one of those ones where when their set was finished, the audience was singing their stuff back to them.
Nice.
So that must have been a pretty cool feeling for them up on stage. And I like their album, and it was good to see them live. It was fucking cool. And the Snakebite Whiskey came all the way down from Brisbane, and as you can imagine, their songs are cool, their stage show is cool. So had a good night. And then Saturday, had your birthday.
Yep.
Which was a lot of fun. At the last minute, my son decided, I will come. I'll brave having to see these big dogs that he was a bit unsure about. But by the end of the night, he ended up feeding Caesar, which I was very impressed. Hand fed him.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, the dog's bigger than him. So.
you could ride Caesar like a horse, man.
Yeah. Well, it was funny when you rocked up, your son was saying, pick me up. Yeah. And then as you were leaving, Caesar was actually playing with him, kind of thing, stirring up. And running around. So,
kids had a good time just playing with Zach with the games, and Julia loves sitting by the fire pit. Now I've got to buy her a fire pit and please her with fire, which is cool.
Hey, fire is fun, man. You'll enjoy that.
Fire is awesome. I love burning stuff. I always have, especially when I was little. It was a good night. Good to meet some of the people I haven't seen for a while. I saw Tim in person, which is good. Meet Jody's brother, Jeff. He was good to chat to. Yeah, some of the other people I've seen before, and just like, oh, wow, good seeing some of your family. Yeah, so it was a good night. And then, Sunday was just recovery. I was flat as, just like fucking up, not doing anything, just being lazy. And then back to work and chugging along. But yesterday, when I'm drinking my morning coffee, I'm thinking, fuck, I'd really love a muffin. I haven't had muffins in ages. Like, texting Julia, she's like, oh, go fucking buy one. It's like, well, there's roadworks around, I can't be fucked. I'll just come straight home. And my awesome wife made me some muffins last night. So can't get doing that. Champion. So,
well done, Julia.
I'm happy. Easily satisfied. Feed me muffins and I'm happy.
Muffins or burritos for you? Burritos is usual go, isn't it?
Burritos, breakfast burritos in the morning, and burritos are good all the time. But government Gomez should sponsor us, man.
Well, cool. Once a you, the way you go.
Yeah. What do you represent? Oh, just me. Just give me some fucking shit. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, apart from that, I'm good. How you been?
Yeah, good. Same old, same old. So, see what we last streamed for everyone on Thursday. Yeah, this time last week. And so since then, it was just all getting editing and stuff done because I knew the weekend was going to be hectic with the birthday coming up, and so I was just cramming all that in, and it's just been that alongside having the birthday party on Saturday, which went into Sunday, which was awesome. Sit down, catching up with people. It was good to have like Julia and the kids around from you as well. I was really stoked you all came out. It was awesome to see you all. I've been the first time for a long time. And then what else? I don't know. Yeah, like just had family and that around. It was really good, fun party. Really good way to bring in a new decade. So that was all right, or end of decade, whichever way you look at it.
That barbecue was fucking great too.
Yeah, that's we both got the same one.
I know there was like cutlery somewhere, but I just ate with my fucking hands.
Yeah, no. We put on a good spread. Jody did most of that, so I got to give a special shout out to Jody here for doing all the hard work on the party. So she did most of the work in that, and I got to sit around and have drinks and get presents, and most of that was alcohol, which is fucking awesome. So I haven't tapped any of it yet. I will do soon enough, but I do have leftovers in the fridge that people have left behind for me, so I'm going through those bit by bit at the moment. That's always the fun part. And then Sunday was recovery. Watched the footy. Didn't like that result too much, but it is what it is this year. And beyond that, just recovered and went. No, we won't stream on the Sunday. We'll just push it out to this week. And now we'll hit the routine again. So now that all the block of shit's done, the routine should settle into a rhythm, and we'll hopefully get through things relatively easily from there. Got some regulars joining in. So hello to Nudes. He's saying hi, guys. Hey, thank you to you for bringing Nunchukka Superfly to our attention. We're covering that tonight in a little bit. Sally, another good regular of ours. So, hey, guys. Good to see you, Sally. Thanks for joining in again. Nikki, as always, long time to see. Yeah, okay. Darren Humphries jumped in. There's another regular. Thanks for joining us again. Spewny couldn't make Snakebite. To which Nikki said they were amazing. So, she had a good night as well. She's told us all about that night when she was here at the party. She got here. She got to our party very, very late, courtesy of her party the night before with Snakebite whiskey. So there you go.
Hey, so was mine. I made it on time.
What was that?
Hey, my party was Snakebite whiskey as well. I still made it to your party on time.
Yeah, well, this is true.
No recovery.
Telling you to get flowers for Julia Day for her work with the flowers. Hey?
Always get her flowers.
Well, look at you, the soft touch at heart. There we go.
I'm romantic. What can I say?
Another regular, Dean. Thank you for joining in again. I love having all these regulars here with us tonight. So, hey, lads, hope all is well with you both. Everything is good. Hopefully the same for you and everyone else joining us tonight. And here we go. Right after midnight, I jumped on Facebook. Hey. Dave, you madman. There you go. So, sorry I couldn't get to the gig myself. I was a bit preoccupied with everything I had to get done the next day, and I was exhausted after the week I'd had. So, I wasn't going anywhere when I knew I was going to have a big Saturday night coming up. So, there we go. Those are the comments we have so far. Yes, Dean, thank you. I did very much have a great birthday. It was a hell of a lot of fun. Not a huge deal. Had some very people that were most important to me, I guess, like you guys and family and that. And then that was what it was. But that was still a big enough crowd. There was still enough here. Wasn't small. So it was fun. Got to sit on the couch the next day doing sweet fuck all. So that was all right too.
Always a good Sunday.
Yes. So that was it. That was my Sunday session. All right. We are going to change gears and move into a hot topic, though, which is a bit more somber than talking about birthday parties and celebratory things. A long-time follower of ours. It's more of a public service announcement than a hot topic. I'm going to put a link in the comments here. I'm not sure if it'll go through to those on Twitter, but it'll go through, I think, everywhere else. And if you need it, it's also in the description of this too. So make sure you are hit the link and all that sort of stuff. It's there. But this is for Scott Ross, who's a long-time follower of ours, and he's been very helpful over the years, and we do appreciate everything he's done. And we'd just like to give a bit of a show of love back because he needs some help. His family needs some help. So I'm just going to read out the statement he prepared, and then you've got the link there. So if you feel inclined to chip in and help out wherever you can, please do so. All right, so this is from Scott Ross. As many of you know, I don't say much on Facebook these days. The past few years have been rough, and I haven't had a lot of positive news to share. My partner of 20 years, Nadine, has been going through a breast cancer treatment for the past 2 years. It started in April 2019 at stage 3 after going through chemo, radiation, and removal of a breast and lymph nodes in early 2020 and many good blood tests over the recent past. We could see the light. We thought we were through and at the other side, but it turns out it was the eye of the storm. This week, we have found it's traveled into her bones in an aggressive manner and now at stage 4. We have exhausted every savings we had up until now, and with Nadine, again, unable to work, it's all getting harder. We have set the ball rolling on remortgaging the house again, which takes time to process. We are looking to start some special treatments over the coming weeks, which will have a far higher chance of a longer life. I'm not the kind of person to reach out and ask for help, but the kids have set up a GoFundMe page in the hope that others are able to help. I'm asking all my mates, friends, and associates if there's anything they feel they can do, then please. It would not go unnoticed and would be forever in your debt. I don't want to lose my partner, sorry, and I don't want our kids to lose their mum. I'm doing all I can around the clock, keeping work going so the mortgage can be paid and we can survive, along with the extra costs of medications and supplements, working way into the night just to keep the cogs turning, along with the running around from appointment to appointment takes its toll. I'm scared, our kids are scared, and we're reaching out. So thank you for reading. Scott, please share if you can. So this is us reaching out, helping spread the word on this. He's a very, very good man, a very big heart, this guy. So any help you can give at all, the link is there. So this is more of a public service announcement. Go and help him out a little bit. Just, whatever you can spare. They're trying to raise, I think, something like $50,000. They've got between 6 and 7 at the moment. So a bit of a way to go. But yeah, like I was saying, any help you can give them would be greatly appreciated. From us here, skip us this week. Go and give it to someone more needy than us. And hopefully this one helps get the word out there. And good luck to everyone involved. So to Scott and your family, Nadine, the kids and that, it's pretty scary stuff. So hopefully you get a good response out of this and everything else going on too, and hopefully you get some positive news soon in all that regard. We were talking before we started rolling live about the first time you met him, actually, which was...
That was years ago before I was regularly on the show and I was just doing the radio show. I met him in Brunswick, I think, at the Sunday gig with Emperor. They were doing an acoustic show. He just comes up to me and says hi. It was good to chat with him. He's a good bloke, easy to chat to, friendly. So, if you can help him and his family out, that'd be much appreciated because good people need to help good people. What keeps society going.
Yep. We try and build a little bit of a community here, so any help that anyone can give is always going to be a good thing, and it'll always come around in the end to those that need it most. So he's helped out with us before on crowdfunding campaigns and been to our extravaganzas and tried to help us out with a website too, which didn't quite go to plan. That was more my fault than anyone else's fault. I just didn't have time to take care of things. But so my apologies for that one for what it's worth, but hopefully this is something that'll help him out a bit and sort of pay it forward a bit because he's always been really good to us and he's a good bloke to boot. Every time I've chatted to him, it's been really, really pleasant. So, that's it. Get onto it, people. Please give that family a chop out, especially with times being what they are at the moment. Every little bit does add up, I am sure. But, we'll move on to something a little more our usual area now, I guess, and go on to our first review. How does that sound to you, Dave?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. So a band we never covered on the show before. I'm quite confident of this. So what I'm going to do now, very quickly while I can, come on. I'm slowly getting better at this back of house and front of house stuff when it comes to this sort of stuff. So in the comments now, and it's in the description too, there is a link to Door, performed live in Sydney by a little band called Nunchukka Superfly. Like I said, we never covered this band on the show before, so we are going to go into it now. So this is Nunchukka Superfly with Aussie Exorcism, Nah Mate You Can't Punch a Ghost. That is the album title. It's 19 tracks for 75 minutes. This looks to be the 6th studio album from the band, the Australian band, founded by members of Hard-Ons. Produced by Lachlan Mitchell at Parliament Studios and Boom Chow Studio, I think it is. This is a double album that has been in the works since October 2018, was released independently March 2021, and this was brought to our attention courtesy of regular viewer of ours, Nudes. So thank you for bringing it to us. We're going to have a crack at this one. So, Dave, this one's a little bit different. How'd you go?
Oh, yeah, it's different. I was really surprised when I put this on. With a band name and album title like this, you're expecting a little bit eccentric and arty-ish. And
yeah.
What the first song, Why Laser When You Can Cut, it brings the heavy riffs and the grooves and some palm muting when needed. It's very melodic, bit of a loose jam feel at times. The composition's done really well. It kind of keeps it grounded, going back to that main riff, and just not what I was expecting.
Awesome.
For the first 6 minutes. And then after 6 minutes, this 10-minute song changes gears very suddenly, and that was more what I was expecting. And that pretty much sets the tone for the next 18 songs on this beast. Interesting backup harmonies. Kind of, at times, it's kind of like a barbershop quartet in places. We got all these different harmonies coming. It's very, very well done. They can certainly write a catchy riff, and they've got some great melodies. Very good drum sound on this. So I was finding that punching out at me. There's some very unusual ideas for song titles. Everything from King G jeans to Mel Gibson. Very cool. Bit of alternative rock and pop rock in there, pop punk. Very blending of styles, and it's amazing how well everything fits together. There's a horn solo on a song called "If Only You Jumped When I Asked." Well, that was a very cool song.
The song titles are really quirky, aren't they?
Exactly. So, you know, like I said, the first 6 minutes of the first song, when you read the song titles and the band name and everything you're expecting, but they'll play you for a while. They'll give you something you expect, and then they'll hit you with a right hook, and they'll change things. It just flows really well. Overall, there's 19 songs on this release, and it's a long listen, but not every song's going to please every fan, but there's definitely something on this album for every fan of rock or metal. It's a very big umbrella. So if you like any style of music, if you're open to eccentric music and you want something a little bit different and left of field, definitely check this out, because I really enjoyed this. Again, 8 out of 10. Standouts were "Why Laser When You Can Cut," "Possible," "This Pen Ain't No Sword," "Paintings on the Wall," and "If Only You Jumped When I Asked." That was very cool.
Nice. Cool. Nudes, hopefully you're enjoying this. We have the Watcher Collects Comics who's jumped in on YouTube. I think he's a new regular we have, and he's gone, is this Blackie and Ray from the Hard-Ons? I'm pretty sure it is those two. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I know there's 2 members of Hard-Ons in this band. So, yes, it is that side project. Okay, as Dave covered off, this opens up with an almost 11-minute track that is a journey in and of itself. I mean, that's a mini album in one song. Overall, that bit of an oddball kind of a listen. You've got that sort of punk bass, which comes from Hard-Ons, but there's some serious twists and turns. This is not a one-trick pony kind of an album at all. I don't know about you, Dave, but if anyone else out there has any experiences with this band, please let us know what your thoughts are, favorite albums, all that sort of stuff as we usually go through these things. But I get a little bit of a hint of things like Mr. Bungle in this one at times here and there.
Maybe some Toe Hider as well, just because of the blending and the bizarre stuff. Yeah.
Actually, these guys playing with Toe Hider would be one hell of a gig.
That would be really interesting.
That'd be a really big gig. Yeah. That'd be cool. Just those two bands for like 3 hours. That's you'd need it. This one goes all over the joint. It's in interesting directions, but it's got some nice straightforward ones in there too, which you were referencing with the palm muting, all sorts of stuff going in there too. But it moves through all this. It's a diverse ride, but it goes through it really smoothly. And the instrumental tracks, there's like 3 or 4 instrumental tracks on this, which really do smooth things out, you know, give you transitions from one thing to the next pretty nicely. They're well thought out, well placed on this listen too. And lyrically, this is really interesting. There's a bit going on in this. There's a bit to take in, but it's very clever, very entertaining, and it's catchier than you might think as well, this thing overall. Like I said, on the lyrical side of things, Paintings on the Wall is really, really sharp. It's really clever. there's more music than lyrics overall. Like, I found that the lyrical bursts in the songs are pretty short by comparison to the length of the song overall, which makes the songs feel a little bit long for mine because it's not I don't know, not the regular, I guess, format, for lack of a better term. But it does work. So once you get used, once you settle into it, it's like, okay, this is cool. And after the first spin, you really know what you're in for. And then, okay, you're on for the journey after that. I think the mix was good. The production was really well done. Everything, like the harmonizing vocals that you mentioned, they were really well done on this too. And it added some polish to what is generally a pretty gritty release, but it's all very well captured. It's just got that bit of dirt in it. But I like how they, got really strong in the bottom end and the top end, but they avoided going, too muddy in the middle there too. I liked how they kept the studio moments in there. The end of Poor Little Broken Me is a case in point. Like, they kept some really cool, fun little studio parts in there. Like, that was what they were saying about that was the best thing, the best version ever played of that particular song, wherever it was. I don't know. It was pretty funny. Clarinet. There's clarinet on this. On If Only You Jumped In When I Asked. So there's all those really interesting, quirky sort of moments. But there's a lot of grunt on this too, which is surprising for how much there is. You don't expect that much. Like tracks like Digress kind of put me in mind of Indians from Anthrax a little bit with that percussive sort of opening to the song. Look, I think overall you've got some 4/4 tracks in there like Buttons, and there's some psychedelic organ in that as well. So, this is all giving you a taste. There's a whole lot going on in this record. It might be a bit much to take in unless you're a big fan because it is a long list and there's a lot of tracks, a lot to take in, but it is well worth checking out just for something different and to if you like it a little bit quirkier but still interesting and entertaining, this is one for you to check out for sure. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Intergalactic Battles in the Vacuum of Space, The Paintings on the Wall, and Buttons were my standouts on this one. And Nudes has jumped in and confirmed that, yes, it is Ray and Blackie. So, yes, cool. Thanks for giving us that one, Nudes. That was all to do with you. So hopefully you liked our take on things, and I'm sure you're more of the expert than either of us are. I didn't even know about that until he put it out in the comments going, check out this one. So we have done so now. From that, we're going to do the usual thing and do a dramatic change in gears, and we're going to go to something that's much more, I guess, typical for the hard rock show. And that is Gilby Clarke with The Gospel Truth. 10 tracks for 33 minutes. Oh, hang on. Let me fucking do this right. One of these days I'll do this smoothly, not fuck all this shit up. But all right. So for those that want to check out what we're about to talk about next, because there's a link in the comments to go and check out Gilby Clarke, Rock and Roll is Getting Louder. It is in the description of this too if you're not able to get to the link, so go and check it out there. Anyway, now we'll do the review. Hopefully I'll get it right by the end of the episode. I can't guarantee it though. So this is Gilby Clarke, The Gospel Truth, 10 tracks for 33 minutes, so it's much shorter than the previous album. The 5th solo studio album for the American artist and his first since Swag in 2001. Self-produced, this album was released in April 2021 via Golden Robot Records. 3 singles have so far been released, including the title track and Rock and Roll is Getting Louder, which is the one we linked in the comments. The third single, Tightwad, has guest spots from Nikki Sixx and Stephen Perkins on it as well. So, over to you, Dave.
Yeah, this was an eye-opener. I haven't heard a Gilby Clarke album since Pawn Shop Guitars in 1994. In fact, I didn't even know he did solo albums, so this was cool to hear. Gilby has always been, for me, the guy who replaced Izzy in Guns N' Roses, but never really got to record any original music because he wasn't on Use Your Illusion. He did the tour and he did the Spaghetti Incident, which was covers. But you see him pop up on All-Star Jams all the time, so he can certainly play. And, so listening to this, I feel like I've missed a lot. Yeah, he occasionally makes a guest appearance, but this is just a really good rock and roll album. Very much in the school of the blues. If you love rock and roll from the 70s and 80s, you're going to enjoy this. There were times when I got a bit of a solo Ace Frehley vibe. If you know Ace Frehley's solo album, just the way he delivers the vocal melodies over the power chords, especially in the song "Wise Old Timer." That was a very cool song. You got some very big sounding choruses. There's some horns. There's backup female singers and catchy hooks. The keyboards here and there, and overall, he's a pretty good singer. Hasn't got a massive range or anything, but what he's got, he used as well. And he just knows how to write a good, basic rock and roll song. It's a great bass sound on this album as well. You get the bass intro to the songs Wayfarer and Rock and Roll is Getting Louder. And it's just nice. He's a guitar player, but he's not I got to be at the front ground all the time. He knows what suits the song and makes a cool listening experience for a full album.
Yeah.
Basically, if it does niche, don't scratch it. He's not doing anything new, but this is a cool, easy 33-minute listen. 10 songs, put on repeat. Not sure if it'll make my top 10s in 2021, but definitely come back to it. There's some cool, memorable songs. Overall, gave 7 out of 10. That stands for Wayfarer, Rock and Roll's Getting Louder, Wise Old Timer, Rustin' and Bustin', and She Won't Fight Fair.
Nice. Well, it's funny that you mentioned Ace Frehley because for mine, this sits signed kind of between what Ace Frehley and Alice Cooper have been doing of late. It's got that really big classic rock vibe going on to it. It's got that big band moments, you have brass sections, female vocals, all the stuff you referenced in there before. I thought this was a lot of fun. The energy was really cool on this one. It's not one you take too seriously. You got some interesting moments on there a little more serious, but overall it's just meant to be a fun, straight ahead rock and roll album with all the the classic bits and pieces that you're looking for on this sort of stuff. Lyrically, there were some cool stories being told. I thought that was really cool. The flip side of that is that there were some pretty big cliche moments in this as well. Nothing too bad, but it does feel a bit sort of, okay, here's another one that you're expecting to get in the lyrical side of things. So, but on the flip side of that, you do get some ones that are like, okay, that was pretty sharp. So it's a bit of a up and down affair in that regard, but overall generally pretty damn good. And for all of that, this is actually catchier than you expect as well. The hooks on this and the lyrics that are in those hooks will stay with you and get you singing along pretty bloody quick to this one. And like Gilby is doing purely what he wants to at this point in time, and so he should. Like he's solid, and I think that's the best way to describe what he does. He's not gonna open your mind to anything new. No new dimensions going to be opened up for you, or anything like that. But he just does what he does. He does it very well. He's got this sort of spoken style vocal, which suits that vibe pretty nicely too. None of this is going to blow your socks off, but none of it's going to make you want to listen to something else either, kind of thing. It's a very good record to put on. I like how his vocal has been mixed back a little bit, even though it's his own record. He's produced himself back a touch, which is cool because with that vocal style, it makes it sit better overall. And not a heap of gear shifts, but it's one of those ones where you can imagine that if you're already doing the 80 to 100 on the highway, you'd put this on at that point in time, and that'll get you through for a while. And it's that kind of, it's a cruising record. Once you've hit the highway and you're cruising, this is the time to put it on. Very easy background album. It's one that you can put on for a bit of fun at a party as well. It's a half-hour listen that's very well put together. Yeah, like I said, solid is the word for this, and that's not a bad thing at all. Just won't. We've had some pretty fucking high albums this year, so it's not going to quite live up to those ones, but it's well worth your time. 7.5 out of 10 from me. I picked Tightwad. The guest spots on that were pretty cool. Rock and Roll is Getting Louder, and the ending. So yeah, there we go. Actually, just while we're talking about, having the opportunity to talk about stories and whatever else, seeing as that's what we're trying to encourage everyone to do, I did actually interview Gilby quite some years ago now. Yeah. So he came out and did a tour with Blue Palm Touring. So Kevin, if you tune into this, hi. But yeah, so yeah, be not long after we did the Lead at Ford interview, probably. I don't know. Actually, no. I think it was 2015. That's ringing a bell for me. It might be that year. I don't know. I'd have to go through the archives and work out exactly when it was. But yeah, no, we interviewed Gilby about 10 minutes of his time, and that night Paul was supporting him, and that was the night, if I'm correct, that was the night that Paul actually walked up to me and Jody and said, "Hey, love your show. I'm happy if you want me to come on the show. I'll come on whenever you want." It's like, do I want Paul Steen to come on the show? Fuck yes. So, so that was a really good night all around, because for mine, I got to see Gilby Clarke and interview him, and he would put on a good show. And then Paul was there as well doing a solo acoustic set beforehand, and that was pretty fucking good. So, if you got any stories like that, share them with us as we go along. But yeah, that was a cool little trip down memory lane, just thinking about that then. So that it's funny how pivotal that is. And I still get chatty with Paul and his partner from time to time, and we talk about our dogs and stuff too, because he's got a great big old bloodhound, which is cool. So hello to you if you're watching this one as well. Nikki jumped in and said lol before when I was dicking around getting the the link sorted out. So yeah, cheers, Nikki. We'll see you on Tuesday. We'll see you go with that. And then we have what else we got? Nudes jumped in and said the Slash Snippet album he was on was great. Yeah, the two Slash Snippet albums were fantastic, but the one that Gilby was on was good too. I did like them both. Tough, a regular from YouTube. Hello again, Tough. It's time to tune in and find out about all the heavy metal you know. It's time for the Hard Rock Show. Thank you very much for tuning in yet again. Loving the regulars. It's always good to see you all. But I am slowly getting my shit together. Slowly. I will probably fuck it up the next time around. But for now, I do have a link to Madhouse ready to go before we do the review. So in the comments or in the description, you know what to do. Go and check out Madhouse, I Walk the Ponygirl, which is an interesting video clip. We'll put it that way. If Dave's expression hasn't given that away for you right now, well then, yeah, you'll know what you're going for there. But anyway, we're going to move on to that review next. And this is one that was a popular choice amongst our THRS lounge. If you want to join that and get involved in the conversation, which helps us to determine what albums we're reviewing each week, get in that Facebook group. It's in the description of this as well. Just find us on Facebook and find that group. THRS Lounge is the one you're going for. But anyway, we're going to move on to Madhouse. If you've checked out this album or the previous one, make sure you let us know in the comments. But Madhouse with Bad Habits, 15 tracks, 57 minutes. Second studio album from the Austrian band, released April 2021 via Rock of Angels Records. Produced by the guitarist Mickey Sticks. Two singles have been so far released in Sick of It All and I Walk the Ponygirl. We got to this one, like I said, as it was a relatively popular choice in the THRS Lounge. So if you want your say, join in on that. But now, speaking of having your say, Dave, over to you.
Cool. This is very much from the school of Guns N' Roses and Skid Row. So if you like those bands, check this out. I mean, lots of bands have been inspired by that era of music, but this is done exceptionally well. It sounds fresh and inspired, and it's a fucking lot of fun.
Yeah,
production is great. There's a really big drum sound. The guitar has some balls. As the album goes on, they start to add some different dynamics to the songs, the songwriting and the production. There's some clean tone intros and some synth in the intro to Atomic Love, which was really well done. It kind of shifted gears into what the 80s was. So if you love that era, fuck. That song comes at just the right moment in the flow of the album. The singer smokes the fucking vocals. It's perfect fit for the style of music. At first, it's a fun, dirty, heavy metal album, but with the repeat listens, you start to pick up on some of the more serious themes in the songwriting. The lyrics are pretty cool. Certainly one you want to keep coming back to, and it's an easy one to get stuck in your head, just like, that song was fucking cool, I'm going to go back to it. The guitar solos are great. They can shred when they need to, but they can also add the extra layer of melody to the song. I thought that was really well done. This guy's a fucking gun. It is a bit of a longer listen to what you get with albums these days. Almost a full hour. Most bands are going for about 35 minutes. But with the 15 songs on here, I think standouts are going to depend on what mood you're in and what you like from this style of music. So I was picking up new favorites with each different listen. I mean, I'll probably listen to it tomorrow and my standouts will be different, but overall I get 8 out of 10. Definitely an album worth checking out. Standouts were Sick of It All, First Lick Then Stick, which is great fucking advice. Atomic Love, Pure Oxygen, Hate to Love, and Rodeo. Rodeo came to my attention today. I heard that song, but for some reason I just chucked that one on because I was just like, wasn't sure if I remember that one. Put that on, so I was like, fuck yeah, that's cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, the spelling out of the word is one of those catchy little things that happens in that song. So, fun in that one. For me, this is all about how sleazy do you want it. This really is just that kind of a record. If you like sleaze rock, this is for you. If you like the Sunset Strip, all that sort of stuff, this is an album you need to check out. If you like anything from Def Leppard through to Snakebite Whiskey or Killshot, that kind of stuff, maybe Catalano for another local band, check Crash this out. Crash, yeah, actually, that's a good point too. Yeah, very well put. There's heaps, and this is funny that they're from Austria because all that sort of stuff is, it ties into the whole bloody thing. So this is very dirty, very gritty, very sleazy, but it's got enough polish on it too. Like the backing vocals and the melody that come through in that is what reminds me of the Def Leppard kind of vibe on things there too. So this is well put together, well produced, equal parts, polish and grit. Dirty as fuck lyrics, some really cool stories being told, and then there's also, your pure party stuff. This would be a hell of a lot of fun to see live. Can you imagine being in a pub or festival hall and seeing this stuff go off? It'd be fucking nuts. Yeah. Be a whole lot of fun.
That's the thing. Suited for a pub, but it's also suited for festival hall, and it'd be cool for a stadium as well. These songs are just wherever you're playing them, they'd be fucking great.
Yeah. It's one of those bands that you can imagine playing anywhere and having a lot of fun. They'd be, if they toured here and had Snakebite Whiskey as a support, that'd be the perfect 1-2 punch kind of thing for those guys. I like the use of Foley sound effects on things like there's a, first lick, then stick, the opening vocal with the chick talking about basically treat her like an animal. That was something else. Yeah, that was okay. Cool. Right, here we go. Yeah, that tells you what you need to know about this album right there. But also the intro to Atomic Love, how it's about, nuclear testing and things like that. So, and the hook in that, things like, our love has a half-life and stuff. It's got that just the right amount of cheese that you want from this sort of music, but at the same time, it's a hell of a lot of fun, catchy as all fuck, aggressive too. It takes about 10 tracks to get to a ballad, which is, Pure Oxytocin. That's like the first ballad, 10 tracks in. It's virtually the end of a normal album. But right after that, you've got Fake It Till You Make It, which is an opening screen that put me in mind of the Kill Shot song that we usually play when we play them. And then it flows into something, after that, which, goes into a little bit more like Motley Crue. So, all those references we've put in here, this is a melting pot of all those things, but it doesn't sound like a ripoff of any of those things either. It just sounds like it's from the era. It would have fit right in back then, but it also sounds like it's from today at the same time. So it's very well done. It's a hard line to walk, that one. But the more I listen to this one, the more I enjoyed it. This one stays with you pretty well too. Easy to repeat spin. Just put it on and fucking crank this. This is when you got to put this on loud. It really feels better just cranking this one right up. Basically, if you like the Glory Days and you want it a bit nastier, this is definitely one to check out. I want to check out the previous album as well, which is Money Talks, Bullshit Walks. I will go and check that out. This is very cool. 8.5 out of 10 from me. I picked Atomic Love. Probably sick of it all as well. What else? Tourette Brunette was pretty cool as well. And First Lick, Then Stick is one hell of a hook in that too. That one does stay with you pretty bloody quick. So there we go. Yeah, it's advice to live by. Here we go. So, radio. So Tough jumped in and he goes, he's looking forward to bringing on the chaos, which is cool. So Tim Caterson is actually one of the ones we referenced in the lounge before. He's the one that really pushed for this one. And he said Madhouse Ross in the first album kicks ass as well. So cool. He goes, they're similar to Hardcore Superstar, which is actually another very point there too. Yes, very, very good point. Tough, our regular is here with shit, man. I feel like a teenager listening to them. Sweet tunes, mate. Going to check it out. Awesome. That's what we like to hear. People going to check it out. Never heard of them. They're fucking sleazy as me. Love them. And here we go. It's another one. Overdrivers are wicked cool as well. Just found them. So he's on a YouTube rabbit hole, obviously, courtesy of going to check out this Madhouse. That's it. Fucking mental blank for a second there. So, yeah, do that thing. Do the whole YouTube rabbit hole thing. But we do have one more link for you, which is our main event of the evening. So Sally had a chuckle at me, trying to get things right before. So I'm slowly getting better at it. I'm going to do it again. So here's our main event for this week, which I think had to be when this one came out. We're going to hopefully do this on Sunday, but didn't quite get around to it. But this is our little bonus thing. Yeah, Nikki, you definitely like him. Nikki would definitely like Madhouse. This is a band for you to check out. Go for it. But anyway, moving on, before we're out of time, the in the comments or in the description, check out the latest from Bodom After Midnight, which is called Payback's a Bitch. The link is there now for everyone. So check it out and let us know what you think whenever you get a chance to. Or if you've already done so, let us know your thoughts as we go along. Another question in advance too is that if you like this EP from Bodom After Midnight, because I think there's a bit going on in this for a 3-track EP, which we'll get our thoughts in a second. But for me, I think my closing thought on my review is that I've not really checked out a lot of Children of Bodom over the years, just not one of those bands I've gotten around to doing. But I do like this EP a lot, so there's a bit of mini spoiler there for you. But I was wondering, if you like this EP, what would be the album from Children of Bodom to go and check out? If they, the crossover to start your journey with Children of Bodom, what EP would this sort of be closest to from that band? But anyway, we'll get on to the actual official review now. This is Bodom After Midnight, our main event for this week, Paint the Sky with Blood. 3 tracks for 15 minutes. This is the one and only offering from this outfit that comes to us after the passing untimely of Alexi Laiho. Originally recorded in 2020, released April 2021 by Napalm Records, produced by Jonas Parkkonen at Finnvox Studios in Finland. The lineup features members of Paradise Lost and Santa Cruz as well, and there are 2 originals on this and a cover of Where Dead Angels Lie from Dissection. This is a heavier way to close things out this week. So, Dave, how'd you go?
Yeah, extreme metal can be hit and miss for me. Some of it can be just heavy and fast for the sake of being heavy and fast. When it's done well, it can be fucking fantastic. And Alexi Laiho has always been a gun of a guitarist. I used to regularly read his monthly columns in Guitar World. That's when I discovered him. Okay. And the guy certainly knew his shit. And he came out around the time when everyone was just fucking drop D tuning, no solos, and just refreshing to see a motherfucker that could actually play and loved music and music theory. If you love lots of melody, shredding solos, keyboards, and insane tempos, this is for you. It's pretty much Children of Bodom in everything but name. And I haven't heard all that much Children of Bodom, but what I have is similar to this. Alexi, he doesn't sound sick at all. He's full of life and energy on this. This isn't like this. If this was going to be the full album and there was more to it, this would have been fucking phenomenal. Yeah, it's good to see his recordings have been released, but it's sad at the same time. This is the last we're going to hear from him. Yeah, there is impressive guitar work all the way out. The fucking solo in Payback's a bitch. That is fucking killer. Yeah. Vocally, once again, if you're a regular viewer of the show, Haas vocals can be hit and miss for me. Sometimes it's amazing. Sometimes it's just monotonous. But yeah, he does a great job with these. And especially the gang vocals in the title track where they just scream, fight, fight. That was fucking cool.
That was very cool.
Yeah, that was really well done. If you're into the whole Finnish sleaze metal thing that's going on at the moment, you're wondering what happened to the bass player from the original lineup of Santa Cruz, he's actually joined this band. So very different styles, but I can kind of see. I don't know how much backup gang vocals Children of Bodom used to do, but Santa Cruz used to do them a lot, so I don't know if he had an influence in that. But however that worked out, that was
the sense of melody I took away from that a little bit. The way the synth being used, yeah.
But as expected with this style of music, there was a hell of a lot going on. A lot of instruments playing really fast, and it's impressive how well this has all been captured and mixed together. The 3 tracks sound great. It's just really, and it's funny to say nice to listen to, considering it's extreme metal, but it actually sounds nice to listen to.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy listening death metal. But yeah, after I checked out this a few times, I went back and I listened to the most recent Children of Bodom, Hexed, and that was pretty cool. And I've heard Hate Crew Death Roll many years ago, but there's a big gap in between those. I'm going to have to fill in that gap because there's a lot of cool stuff here. I got to 8 out of 10. Paint the Sky with Blood and Payback's a bitch. 2 songs out of 3. This is fucking cool.
It is. The thing I found with this is that the standout element, or your standout track, whatever else would change with every listen. The 3 tracks, even the cover, like they all, you can't, like, all 3 are fucking fantastic, and I do wish we had more. You know, I really do wish we had more because there's so much here. Got some comments coming through on this, which I'll get to after I give a few thoughts on it. For a 3-piece little mini EP, this is a great taste what might have been. It is that whole bittersweet thing where, you know, we're all very glad to have it, but at the same time, it highlights how sad it is that we're not going to get any more. And, you know, beyond that, you know, the loss of the person and to those that are nearest and dearest to him is more impactful than ever before. But hopefully having this out for them is something nice, as well as for those of us that like to consume music. This is heavy and aggressive as you expect, but there's still heaps of groove and a more surprising amount of melody. I did not expect how much melody was in this, especially with the way the synth was being used. The byplay between the synth and the guitar was fantastic. And I liked how the synth sort of pushed forward just a bit here and there, but also was right back. So you could almost barely hear it, but it added so much color to what was going on with this listen. It was fantastically well executed. I think next to the guitar work and all that sort of stuff that you expect, that was almost the standard element of this one, because that made it different to just the blast beats and all the other stuff. That and the use of groove. So, for all the things, you say technical or black metal or death metal, whatever else you want to call it, but this was actually really interesting because if you want to listen deeply to it, there's a lot to take in. If you want to put it on casual in the background, you can go and bang your head and be happy.
Yeah.
This is a mix of, dark aggression, menacing stuff with some really soft subtlety, and the production was brilliant. It captured it all really nicely. I liked where Alexi's vocal sat on this. Like you said, he sounds vibrant. To know that 12 months. Yeah,
strong, healthy.
Yeah, you listen to this and you go, what? I don't know. I can't imagine, but I don't know. I really liked how they put this together, and also the composition in conjunction with everything else. They used space nice, so they used changes of groove and tempo. The way they allowed things to open up right before the solos would kick in was brilliant on this. It wasn't just, here's your fucking blast beats for 3 minutes and away you go. They actually changed tempo 3 times in the song, have a breakdown that is not generic, and go to the solo. And it's like, you've got blistering stuff, but you've also got really, really melodic stuff that is much more rock oriented than death metal oriented, so to speak. It was a really well balanced sort of trade between the way they did it all. Like, I don't know. If you like groove, tempo change, that sort of stuff, and just intricate composition along with blistering performances, like, fuck me, every person nailed it. Alexi is obviously the standout between his vocal and especially his guitar, but like, this sounds great. The tones are fantastic. The composition's good. I don't know. I love the guitar tone on this. That was really fucking nice. And just the overall balance was good. Everything was like, the guitar work was stunning as you expect. And I think the way it closes with the cover after the 2 original tracks is really nice touch, actually. And I liked how it's a whispering sort of moment in there, or the whispering aspect of that song, which comes and gets hit with a hammer straight after. It shows you, while it's not an original song, if you can imagine an album worth of stuff off the 2 originals and then what this cover, because it's not the fun covers they're more known for, what they could have done with that sort of mindset to their original stuff would have been really, really cool as well. I enjoyed this a lot. Like I said, not checked out a heap of Children of Bodom. I think we'll have to do a special on them at some point too. There's about 10 albums from them to go and incorporate something. So that's something we'll do in due course. Don't ask me when. I don't fucking know. But it's a shame we've only got this one to spin, but we do at least have it. So if you haven't checked it out, please do go and check it out. Even if the heavier stuff might put you off, this is one that's a bit different and probably a lot easier to take in than you expect. It's 3 tracks. It's 15 minutes. Go and check it out. It's well worth your time. 8.5 out of 10 from me. Like I'll say, my favorite shifts from time to time, depending on what I'm listening to it, but everything is good here. But I do like the originals most of all. But I can't choose between Paint the Sky with Blood or Payback's a Bitch. They're both equally good and both fucking, I don't know. I can't choose them. So yeah, we've got some comments here. So Sally's gone. It's hard being tempted to hit the link. Got to wait. So Sally, we're nearly there. I promise we're nearly there. Hit the link straight afterward. I reckon you, in particular, knowing your taste, you will enjoy that one for sure. All right. So Tough has jumped in and said before that Bodom is a def must for my workout music. I need to work on my neck more to keep up with the head banging beat. That's all of us. He also jumped in and said, where Dead Angels Lie has so much in the way of a different sound going on. Very cool. Yeah, it was really cool. Darren jumped in and said, if you aren't familiar with Children of Bodom, I recommend the albums Hate Crew, Death Roll, and Are You Dead Yet as introductions. Thank you very much for the advice there. I'll make sure I go and check that out. And the Watcher Collects Comics from YouTube. Thank you for jumping in again. This is fantastic and emotional release. Where Dead Angels Lie reminded me of Angels Don't Kill. And so I would recommend Hey Crew, Death Roll. That was my intro for Children of Bodom. So there we go. We've got 2 recommendations for that album there. So I reckon that's the winner to go to. But that is a very sort of poignant way to sort of wrap things up a little bit, I guess. That was a good – I really am glad we got around to doing that one and squeeze it in. It is well worth the time to go and check out. So please, people, go and listen to that one. If nothing else tonight, that's the one I reckon to go to for the emotive impact, as well as just, you're not going to get anything else. So we should give that one some support, because the more that one gets raised, hopefully it pays on and gives his family some support as well. Because there's a lot of local musos that we know that knew him better than you or I ever did, and they were all heartbroken by his passing. It's also best wishes, love, support, whatever you can from all of us here to his family that have been left behind as well. But that brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you all so much for sticking with us. Hopefully you've enjoyed this take on things. Your feedback and all that stuff is welcome, whether it's now or later on. And whether you're tuning in now live with us or whether you're tuning in later on repeat or whenever you hit the link or find it on Spotify or whatever else, then thanks for joining us. Our next stream is on Sunday, which we've just decided tonight. We're going to be covering the latest from Gojira, Dropkick Murphys, THRS, and Red Hook. So 2 Australian bands, 2 international bands in that one. Our next interview is on Tuesday. So Nikki and I are going to be chatting to THRS as well. So it's a bit of a theme for the week coming up. And don't forget to check us out on TV as well. So tonight, 10:30 p.m. Adelaide time. Check us out on Channel 44. All the details are in a previous post on Facebook and that today. So go and check out that episode. 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights on Channel 44 in Adelaide. We're also on 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights on Channel 31 in Melbourne. So check us out on TV. Our details are in the description of this. So find us, follow us, all the usual stuff. Check out our Patreon page as well if you'd be so kind. And a big thank you once again to our fantastic sponsors, Squidding, Screen Printing, Old Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Thank you so much for your support. Their details, just like ours, are in the description. So find them, give them a follow, as well as show them a little bit of love for the help they give us here. I'm not sure we're doing for deep cuts. We are doing a deep cuts on Thursday. I think we've locked in Royal Blood as a review for that one. So there's a lot coming on now. It's going to be a very, very busy rest of the year, I think, now. But our next special coming up at the end of May is all to do with grunge, which we're going to be doing hopefully in-house. We'll break in the new set and hopefully not break anything while we're doing it because it could be very, very interesting doing that special presentation. So that'll be cool. All right, Tush jumped in again. He's doing his YouTube metal loop. Thanks to you guys. Rock on, I know I will. Thank you for tuning in. It's been great having you here, and I'm glad you hit these links and go off on your own merry way on the YouTube rabbit hole. It's cool that people do that, so I love having that being a part of the game. But it is a time of the week where we get to have some fun, blow off some steam. So, Dave, what have you got for the bin?
Okay, an oldie but a goodie. Triple M. At work, we have the radio on.
Yes.
And we usually have gold because there's some older people there. I get some Bon Jovi and Poison and occasionally some Guns N' Roses, so I can kind of tolerate it while the older people are happier with some of the other stuff. Well, it was just me and one of the younger guys today, so we're like, fuck, we haven't listened to Triple M in a while. Let's have a go and see what it's like.
Yep.
Yeah. So we put it on, and yeah, not much has changed. Same stuff. Plenty of fucking Foo Fighters and yeah, all the regular. But yeah, so it was playing for a couple of hours, and then I was like, fuck! Miley Cyrus with her apparent fucking rock song.
Oh, really? That got on there?
Yeah. So my mate at work's like, what? What's going on? It's like, fucking Miley Cyrus on Triple M. Jesus Christ, it goes from bad to worse. But then come the afternoon, it comes about 2:00, and they play the same fucking song again.
Yep.
Miley Cyrus twice. Like, holy shit. So gold, if they play the same song in the same day, they'll give you like $1,000. It's like, oh, cool. Do I get $1,000? My mate's like, nah, Triple M don't do that. They'd go broke if they did.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, Triple M, you're not gonna change, and fuck.
No, they're not.
It's just frustrating. I don't know why I do it to myself, but Triple M in the bin.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tim's jumped in to say, Dave, go buy a digital radio.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
I think I'll just buy some big Bluetooth speakers for work and just use Spotify.
That's what I do. Yeah, I put the Spotify on. But also, for what it's worth, I will give the devil credit where due. Their stuff with Triple M hard and heavy and the support they're giving to local bands. You know, credit where due. You got to give credit where due. We'll put them in the bin, but credit where due for what they've done to help the local bands on that station. So I will give credit for that. And Tough jumped in again saying Triple M bullshit, only using for the footy. Mate, even that I struggle with these days. So there we go. Referencing back to the previous, what do we got here? Grunge is cool. He'll bring the mosh pit. So that's his comment to the previous stuff about the grunge special coming up. So we'll see who agrees with who later on. And he jumped in. Heavy metal app is what I use. Okay, cool. There we go. Nikki, the oldies may not like Bluetooth tunes, Dave. Probably not, but hey, it'll be fun to get a reaction out of him. So,
yeah, I did some Bluetooth over Christmas with a little speaker.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't end well.
The wax mat.
Yeah, might have to do one. I did at Toys R Us. I made a deal. We can hook up our phone to the PA during night build.
There's video of that, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, that was Big W where I played a fucking painkiller before the store. But yeah, with some of the younger ones at Toys R Us, I did the deal. You can have it one week, I'll have it the other. So I had to endure fucking Snoop Dogg and all that shit one week. But then I put on fucking Opeth the next week.
There you go. There's your payback.
Call on a toy store with a cool sound system.
Nicely played. Tough, you mentioned the footy before. So my bin is kind of related to that. That's politicians at the sporting events, at the footy clubs. Fuck off. Just fuck off. You lot are a bunch of hacks. I don't want to see you at the best of times. I certainly don't want to see you taking selfies at the footy when you should be doing a fucking other job at the moment, or when you're in the change rooms afterwards. So I have no actual understanding of why a politician needs to be in the change rooms after a game. It makes absolutely no sense to me. He's not a coach. Doesn't know shit about shit in general. And so sometimes,
He's having a perv.
No, what I want to see is, like, if it's rugby or AFL, I want to see one of these bastards tackle the pricks. That's what I want. I want to see a politician used in a tackling drill. That's what I want to see done. If they're not being poleaxed, fuck them. Like, just get them out of there. Because then all the sporting teams that sit there and pose with the politician, why are you posing with a politician? That's not cool. Like, what is cool about having a photo taken with Josh Frydenberg of all fucking people? Fuck off. That and Scott Morrison. Get the fuck out of my sport. Go and actually do something productive. Fuck off. There we go. There we go. There we go. What? Tough got in trouble at work, put him metal on at work, so I'm putting my dumbass boss in. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Doesn't know shit. Promote that person. That's pretty much how a lot of places work as it stands. So you're not alone in feeling that sentiment. There we go. We're getting some communal bins going on tonight. But yeah, I think that wraps us up. So Nikki's had a chuckle at that. So, it's been fun. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Been more of a regular crowd tonight, but that is always good. We love chatting to the people that we know and love. So we'll see you all again very, very soon. Sally's gone, yes. Poleaxe to Pollies. Yes, I just want to see them used once as a crash dummy. That'd be great. And Nikki's lucky. Her boss loves Maiden. Yes, this is true. There are some funny stories. I won't relate them now, but I'll try and get Nikki to tell them on camera about certain usernames showing up at certain Zoom meetings. So we'll see. That's Nikki's story to tell, not mine. So Nikki, you're in the deep end for that one. Now you got to do it. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you, Dave, for sitting here with me to do another episode. We're back again on Sunday. But until then, make sure you're all looking after yourselves. We'll see you all again very, very soon. Until then, I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
As always,
drink up.
Rock on. With the official bullshit ended, now we're going to say goodbye. We'll do the round and round bye-byes to bye-bye, Twitter. See you later.
Later, Twitter.
From that, we move on to YouTube, and we say goodbye to YouTube.